to you all, Hungarian from home. It's A.G.E on pole. Blade Wrestling lines up alongside with Ultra sitting in P3, Fox Adelaide landing up in 4th, Sebastian Campbell is alongside with Ravo and Dominic Vendetto. Tom Leon is 8th, and Jens Olsen, UK Ball and Livery to round the top half of the grid. Bottom half started by Fong vs Theo and Taco Van Horn. Diamond Castro putting in a performance of 15th place. Headley's in 16th from Racket Grubbly. Number Zygmunt, Carlos Eduardo, and bottom the bottom row being Moxland and Daniel Bogdasarov. So we are moments away now from this, the Hungarian GP of 2020. Fireless, and we are underway once again. Good start for David Serracchiara, very good start for Marcus Adelaide in the McLaren, who goes into turn 1 and takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Well, that was unexpected. I did not expect a McLaren to be leading after the first corner, but there is. We've got a McLaren leading from a Mercedes, Ferrari and a Dragon. And that McLaren is Marcus Adelaide, the Mercedes is Serracchiara, and right behind him is Ultra, as BDS drops down a place, losing out to Ravo. Ocampo, the championship leader, alongside his teammate. He'll be wanting to get through into more places, however he does drop down into 7th place, which is not good. But the man will be looking to try and get his first ever World Drivers' Championship. Right behind him is the 2-time champion of UK Ball. And never mind, that is Tom Leon now. Ultra gets a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision while fighting David Serracchiara. BDS right on the back of him in a Sega Dragon racing car around the final corner, go for a wider line to go for some more speed as they head down the start-finish straight. Marcus Adelaide obviously setting the fast lap since he's in first place at the end of the first lap. Ultra moving up into second. That was a nice move on Serracchiara, as he'll be looking to try and get ahead of the McLaren that is sitting right in front of his eyes. And for strategies today, we can expect to see 1 stops and 2 stops, as we have Headley, Castro and Eduardo all opting to start this race on the hard compound tyre, and they're doing pretty well with the hard, to be honest. So honestly, you can't blame them for choosing that tyre, because they're doing well. And as for the guys on softs, they're most likely going to be on to a 2-stop strategy, as softs, they won't last much at the start of this race. However, the tyres will be getting better and better as the race goes on, due to track conditions getting better, and of course it'll be more drivable for the drivers. But yeah, they're most likely going to the 2-stop, as they need a really push to make these tyres work at the start of the race, and that will wear them down a lot. So yeah, these guys need to be careful. They'll be on 2 stops. Meanwhile, the Media Brothers do have a chance of 1 stop. 350-50 go between them. People on hards, they are 100% doing 1 stop, unless a puncture or a VSC comes into play, or even possible rain. Then that will change things up. Just like we're trying to fend off Blade Dragon Sonic, as he is running in P3, the Brazilian driver can't be holding off for too long, because right in front of him, 1.3 seconds up the road, is Ultra Bro. BDS probably getting really aggravated in the cockpit of that Dragon car, and he goes down the inside of Serracchiara. He did not even take place at all there. Serracchiara defends that, however he's managed to get right onto the back of the top 2 who are leading the race. And BDS there enabling DRS, same thing for Ultra up in second. And Marcus Adelaide, how long will the Brazilian be able to defend this position? Well, it's enough to defend it to turn 1, and he does so. BDS moves up into third, both him and Serracchiara getting DRS, which is to Serracchiara's disadvantage. And Ultra, he couldn't even get ahead of Adelaide. Adelaide is making his car as wide as he can, and this is amazing to see McLaren doing so well this season. Adelaide is on form, and you can really tell. As into the chicane, he takes a line that would favour the exit. Ultra, not so much. His line was a little bit different, and it cost him a bit of time. At VDS, he'll have to try and stay within a second of Ultra, otherwise he's going to be overtaken by Serracchiara, definitely. There'll be no way he can defend it otherwise. And it looks like he is going to stay within that time frame. He does there as we go across the detection point. He is within a second. He gets DRS active. The top four, though, are in a world of their own here at the Hungarian. As into turn one, Max Adelaide still continues to lead. But now, Sergio, he's up in the P3. He's managed to get ahead of the Dragon that is just behind him now. And the championship leader, Sebastian Campo, down in 5th place. You got River for company right behind, who's putting a lot of pressure on with the medium compound tyres, which are very much working for him. 66% he's got on them. Ocampo's softs, they are wearing out. They're on 55%, which is his driver number. As Revo, he gets a penalty, causing a collision with Sebastian. Tom Leon and Dominic Benedetto right behind in 8th and 7th respectively. Zuckerbo down in 10th, just hanging on to the points. As BDS is starting to fall away now on the mediums. Them tyres just clearly aren't working as well as he would have wanted them to. As he will go around the final corner, Ultra enabling DRS is approaching 300 kilometers per hour. And he is going to use that speed. And he's going to turn one, still behind it into the 3rd sector. Yellow flags outwards for Olsen, who's had a bit of an incident with the wall. You can see as there is damage there, it could have also been for another driver. I don't know why the pit crew are wearing Adelaide's suit. Don't mind that. As into the pit lane as well comes Marcus Clyde, the number 80 driver for BWT Sauber. As his tyres, they are gone. They are on 47%, so it's about time we get some change. But here we go, Ultra and Adelaide, they're fighting. And Ultra moves up into 1st place. Now, finally, it's took him a good 5.5 laps to get ahead of the Brazilian. And now, if they come into the pits, Adelaide will still be out ahead because Ultra has a penalty, but Adelaide will prefer to be ahead of him in the pit lane. Well, both of them are coming in, so Adelaide will be ahead at the pit exit. BDS moving up into 1st position from Davy Serrachiera as both of them got DRS there. Now into turn 2 as we are heading towards now. It will be Serrachiera with DRS. BDS not getting that treatment of DRS though. Many drivers pitting now. Adelaide leaving the pit lane and he's going to have a tiny bit of traffic. Not much, just a tiny bit. And look at that, it's only one car, and that is Damian Castro, and he came out alongside him, and with DRS. Now Adelaide, if he was to get traffic, it would be Headley and Verstio, who are there, but they are on worse tyres, on worse compounds as well. Verstio's also on softs, but yeah, them tyres, they are gone. They are completely gone. In fact, that's an easy move for Headley. He's going to get by very quickly. 31% on the tyres though. However, Adelaide can't afford to lose a single bit of time, but he has lost a little bit. And that was to be expected, to be honest. It was a gamble pitting this at this sort of time. Ultra though, he's not lucky. He's got plenty of cars to try and pass by. As BDS is leading from David Serrachiera, I may as well look at the battle again. As DRS active for the Brazilian. And he heads towards the 2nd corner, can't get ahead yet. He will still try his best to secure the place. Tom Leon moving on to hard tyres. He looks like he could be on the one-stop strategy today. However, it's going to be a difficult one to pull off. Can he do it? Because anything can happen here in Formula 1. As it's 12th place for Dominic Di Benedetto. As he is just in no man's land at this point. Olsen's quite a bit up ahead. And Tom Leon's just quite a bit behind. But Cable there, on his fresh tyres, 1 lap older than Tom Leon's, he moves up into 13th place. And he has got softs on, so that is why he was still quicker than Tom Leon's by having older tyres. As round the final corner, BDS is going to come into the pit lane, same thing for David Serrachiera. So it looks like we might have a bit of a pit stop battle going on. Which team can change their driver's tyres the quickest? As Serrachiera on the hards, BDS also on the hards, and he is through. As Bravo serves his 5-second penalty, he is going to be going on the softs. He's on a 2-soft strategy very clearly. Max Adelaide now on his tyres for 2 laps. He has got an incredible lead out in front, as Ultra has lost around 8 tenths per second, probably a second in these pit stops, as Thierry Headley just behind him, which could soon be BDS, as he'll be getting through the racing point like no deal. On board with the Nigerian, as through he goes and up into 3rd position. That is perfect. He can now go on to the attack for Ultra Bro, as softs will wear out in probably 3 or 4 laps time. So that's what them drivers have got to be careful for, as Ocampo gets past Thierry Headley and he moves up into 4th position. But not for long. Davy Cerqueira on the inside line, and he takes 4th place away from the Filipino driver. But yeah, I see most of the grid is on hard tyres. You can clearly see that, as Ferrari are running just 2:13 at the moment. However, many drivers still yet to pit. Revo should be into the points in no time, as he goes round the outside of Carlos Eduardo. And despite Eduardo getting DRS, he's going to be absolutely no match to Revo. Revo will storm away, as we're on the 10th lap of 17. Adelaide has got this race under control, and this is one drive you would not have expected at all from a McLaren. It has been ages since McLaren have seen the top step of the podium, and I really do mean it has been ages. I cannot express how long it's been, because it's been ages and ages and ages, like I've said multiple times already. I should probably shut up about that. So we have BDS, the driver with a very good car and towards the season. He's going to have DRS. The drag reduction system will give him at least 10 kilometers per hour of extra speed down the South Main Straight. And go into turn 1. It's a clean move. No DRS for him, sadly. But he is up into 2nd place. And that is a perfect move. Exactly what he needs. He is now unleashed and is free to try and chase Marcus Adelaide if he can. So if he can do that, he will certainly be happy with that. McLaren, though, in this league, only have 2 Grand Prix victories. So yeah, I'm just showing McLaren. They have not won much. They've only won 2 races overall in 11 plus seasons. Of course, we're in the 12th season right now. But yeah, look at this. BDS rapidly closing down the gap to Marcus Adelaide, who is losing out on a lot of time. He's going to have to make another pit stop, and it's going to have to be for mediums if he wants to win this race. Can he give McLaren a surprise victory? Well, that's what we're about to find out in the final 6 laps of this GP. And if he can do that out of nowhere, then he will be remembered forever by Brazil. Same thing for Cerqueira, because, you know, he's the world champion for Brazil on this grid, and he's really trying to get past Ultra around the outside of the man who took away what looked to be an easy championship for him last season. Of course, these two, they'll have quite a bit of beef on and off the track. Cerqueira looked sure to win the title last season, and then out of nowhere, his lead that he had, a massive 81 point lead, got drilled into, and by the end of the season, Ultra won. And here we go. He's going to get past his rival momentarily. However, Ultra's tyres are wearing out quite a bit. Adelaide's still staying out on track. I'm not joking. He needs to hit this lap. He should have hit this lap, which is when Ultra has. He's going to go on to mediums. See, Ferrari, their understanding of the situation right now, they understand that they need a pit now, or else they're going to have no chance to win. Quite literally 0% chance. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting strategy for McLaren here, as they are really trying to extend the softs Are they doing this to go on to another set of softs? I've only just thought of that possibility, but it is still possible. McLaren could be trying to extend it to go on to new softs, and I wouldn't blame them at all. Like, sometimes you just gotta gamble, and this is the definition of a gamble. As he comes into the pit lane, BDS making up the entire pit stop gap that he made on him. As into the pits, Max Adelaide comes, and it's from mediums. Okay, this is weird. But yeah, last time McLaren have won a race here in this league was 2013 in Italy. We are in 2020. So, yeah. It has been many years McLaren have stood on the top step of the podium, as out the pits comes Revo, and he's in P13, fresh tyres as well, as we have got just over 3 laps to go in this race. BDS is winning by 4 seconds to Davide Saracchiera. There's Ocampo, Benedetto, and Tom Leon. Olsen, and there's Adelaide getting held up by his own McLaren teammate. McLaren will be probably telling Olsen, let your teammate by. He is faster than you. And there we go, Adelaide on the inside line, and he should hopefully get that with no issues. And yep, he's through. He is through, alright. And he is going to be entering the 15th lap of this race. He's probably not going to win this race. It'd be a miracle if he does, as Ultra, despite pitting earlier, was unable to get ahead of Marcus Adelaide, who will be chasing down the podium positions in these final 3 laps to see what he can do. Davide Saracchiera is pulling in a lot of time on Blade the Dragon Sonic, who will be nerve. He'll have his nerves full. He'll be full of nerves. Sorry about the not being able to talk today. I don't know why, but I just can't. Anyways, that was a Renault BDS just got passed by, and that was Racket Crumply. Oh, he had the puncture! The home man, the home favourite. He's got a puncture onto the rear right tyre, and the Renault will come into the pit lane. That is the worst thing here for F1's best Hungarian driver, who's won this track a few times before. Of course, that'll be devastation on his returning year to the sport. They're on lap 16 now of 17. Marcus Adelaide only a couple seconds back on Dominic Benedetto. It is still possible for McLaren to get a podium this season, and if they can do it today, then that will be something special for the team. But it's clearly showing today that the 1 stop was the better strategy compared to the 2 stop. But yeah, if Adelaide wants to get this podium, he needs to get past Dominic like right now. He's gonna have to send it somewhere. It's just he's not finding the room to do it. And there is Benedetto with a bad exit because of the lack of grip on the hard tyres, which are getting old. And through, the McLaren takes 4th place. And he's only a couple seconds back on Sebastian Ocampo as starting the final lap. He's Blade the Dragon Sonic, who's going to go into this first corner, leading the Grand Prix. As long as he doesn't hit one of these back markers, he should be fine for the race win. Because if he hits a back marker, that'll be a penalty, and it'll be a race-ruining penalty nonetheless. As there we go, he's going to pass by that first back marker with ease. However, he's only got a 1 track limit warning this race. Wow, that was first track limit warning. And he's going to go down the inside of the Williams. That was close. Very close indeed. As soon as she came there, Adelaide, he's looking to get 3rd place. Down the inside of the Red Bull. And the McLaren goes up into 3rd. Ocampo drops to 4th. Adelaide moves up into 3rd. Incredible pace there for the Brazilian. But here we are around the final corner. Electro Sonic, his bad luck is gone. He wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Amazing result there. David Ricciardo, his bad luck also gone. He gets P2. Max Adelaide, he's gonna stick it on the podium in the final lap for McLaren. They finally get a podium, and they've done it with her fastest lap to go on top of it. Ocampo, 11 laps on that tyre on the hard. Same for Dominic Vendetto. Tom Leon does 10 laps on it. Revo will get P8 in the end of Ferrari. And Jensen Olsen, 12 laps on mediums. They're on 6% of tyres. Taco Van Horn, he's going to manage 11 laps in this Grand Prix. Livery, can he take the final point away? And to the line he can! He does it! UK will at P12, Lam Fong 13th, Eduardo Kleinbach from Company, they're all lapped. University of 14th, Castro will get 15th, from Thierry Headley and Zygmunt, with Butler finishing the rest of us off. And so here we are. The race is over. BDS is your winner today in Hungary. That was an incredible race to the Nigerian. Davide Serragera clinching second place there. Max Adelaide, what a drive from that man. He gets in third, and once again, 3 different constructors on the podium. This season is looking to be a really strong one, and I'm all for it. So with that, let's listen to the Nigerian national anthem. The winner today for David Serragera and Marcus Adelaide with Sebastian Ocampo. 4th place for him, Ultra in 5th, his first finish of the season. George Vandell gets 6th on Tom Leon Ravo. Jensen Olsen Livery took the final point at the very end of the race. Zach Van Horn with purchasing in 11th from UK Ball and Fong. Castillo, Damian Castro, Zygmunt, Dem Butler, Thierry Headley, Carson Watto, Max Klein, Daniel Bogdarov and Raka Crumpley. And so with that, we're done. In Hungary, we've got 2 British GPs to come up next. The regular British Grand Prix and the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. See you then when F1 Classic returns, and have a good day.